Hello, I'm Darlene Montgomery. I'm the founder of Soul System Healing, and today I'm going to talk about loyalties or hidden loyalties that keep us from succeeding or receiving in our life. And in my own life, I had some very interesting experiences where I found myself in jobs that were remarkable for someone that had very little education. I had left school very early as I just became very bored and decided to leave school quite early. And at first I struggled with the idea of leaving school early, but it didn't seem to hold me back. And I found a job at the age of 16, if you can believe it, selling cosmetics on the road. And I learned very quickly how to present myself as a much older, articulate person. And then as I got older, I found myself teaching music at the age of 21 with very little experience. And then I found myself working later on in my 30s for Chicken Soup for the Soul. So it never really held me back. And I proceeded to get several certificates in various modalities. I got dozens of certificates, but there was always a feeling, a sense of not being enough. And I tried everything, every system imaginable to get to the bottom of it until I eventually found family constellation work. And family constellation work deals with hidden loyalties to our family, friends, culture, systems that are in place that we have aligned ourselves to a loyalty to someone or something in the system. And one day I kind of hit rock bottom, and I really felt like I had tried to overcome this feeling of worthlessness that just kept, you're hitting a ceiling and you keep hitting your head and you try to go past it. And that's something in family constellation work that they talk about, that you've tried everything to move past it, and yet you seemingly keep hitting the same experiences over and over, repeating and repeating. Not just the experiences, but the emotional feeling that seems to erode any sense of accomplishment that maybe you've had as a teacher, as an artist, as a musician, as a writer, as a healer, as an architect, whatever it might be, but you always seem to feel like you're sliding backwards. And recently it just came to me as I was doing some tapping and doing a number of the systems that I do that are part of the soul system healing. I've integrated all my modalities into one. The statement came to me about I exist without my credentials. And the idea that we don't exist without something or someone was fairly new to me in the last few years, where I realized that sometimes our identity is very locked into someone else or something else, that our sense of who we are becomes deeply entangled in some idea, concept, belief, or personality that we are involved in. And it's extremely challenging to get to the bottom of something like that, even with all of the different modalities that I know and others know, such as NLP, core belief engineering, Psych K, you name them. There are thousands of them out there, but I just couldn't seem to get to the bottom. And then, so today, actually it was today, I set up a constellation for myself. What I did is I took all my credentials, all my certificates, and I put them in a pile, and there are several. And I placed an image of myself and an image of my father there. And I began to talk to my father, who recently passed away. And as I did, it became clear that there was a loyalty to my dad, because my dad quit school in around grade 8, as I had. And I realized that there was a part of me that didn't want to surpass my father. There was a loyalty to staying as I was and never giving myself credit for any of the credentials. The credentials had never given me a sense of satisfaction or self-worth, because part of me did not want to surpass my father. There was a loyalty to staying as I was so that he would be okay, so he would feel okay as he was. Now, he's passed now, so it's giving me an opportunity to really go in depth into some of these things that I've held on to for my entire life. So when you think of your own life and some of the emotions or traits that you've carried with you that you seem to not be able to get to the bottom of, consider what loyalties you might have to someone else in your family, and consider looking at how to untangle those loyalties. We can choose to move forward past the threshold of loyalty to someone else, whether we're holding on to their poverty, their pain, suffering, physical pain. We may have pains in our body that actually come from a loyalty to our mother, our father, our grandparents, our aunts, our uncles, or an emotional struggle or mental struggle that comes from a loyalty to one of our ancestors, perhaps someone who was in the war or suffered through the Great Depression, or, as my dad did, had to leave school early just to make money, just to survive. And so we keep a loyalty, we hold ourselves back to honor those people. And so we say, I honor you, and please honor me as I choose to move forward and have a good life. And I leave with you your suffering for you to carry. And as we do that, we become more empowered. We become filled with a sense of the wholeness of ourself. And those positive attributes begin to fill that space. So today, that is what I wanted to share. And if you like what I have to say, then please do like my page. And I will be returning with more about constellation therapy.